I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing influence solutions on my show, SWE Spotlight with Joie. Hi, everyone. Welcome to SWE Spotlight with Joie. So glad that you're here. You know that you're in the right place if you are here to learn how to manifest your vision, navigating life and business with business and lifestyle coach April Little. I had an opportunity to meet her at an event out in Texas, and I just fell in love with her, and I had to have her on the show. But a little bit more about me. I'm Joie Garrity, and I'm a content creator and the founder of SWE Media Network and Joie G113. And you can learn more about me, my products, and my services at joeyg113.com. You can also learn why I named my company Joie G113, and it's in homage to two of the greatest entrepreneur women of all time, in my opinion, and one of them is Coco Chanel. So I want to jump in and I want to talk about, I love this topic about manifesting your vision, because I truly believe that your inner game is the biggest game in town, and you have to have a strong inner game. And so if you're not getting what you want, right, you're going to want to watch the show, and we're going to share solutions on how you can get more of what you want, particularly in business. So just a little bit about April. She's been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, and she's created several successful businesses and a couple epic failures. And I love that authenticity. We've all failed. That is how you actually become more successful, is you fail upward. And I remember when I was younger, I heard that and I didn't believe it for a second, but today I know it's the truth. So let's bring April up from the green room and let's say hi. Hey, April, how are you?
Hi, Joey. How are you?
Good, good, good. I love that you share
Good.
about the epic failures, because we all
Yeah,
have epic failures, right? And I believe that that's actually the only path to success, is that you have to fail.
absolutely.
So share a little bit more about your unique point of view around that.
So, this is something that I had to study for myself because when I had some failures, at first you feel heavy, they feel like a failure.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take that on for myself. And so I am like, whenever I don't know anything or whenever I want to know more about something, I'm like a huge researcher. I love research. I feel like knowledge is the ultimate power. And so I'm always looking for more of it. And so this was one of those things I was like, let me go research failure and like see what people have to say about this. And the thing that I found out was that all of the greatest greats, they say that their failures are what contributed at least as much, if not more, than their successes to their ultimate success. And so now I think failure is the greatest gift that you can have. So I always love the idea of, like you said, failing upward or, falling forward kind of thing. And so, like, I think every time that you have a failure, then you're learning something so significant. You almost learn more from them than you do from your successes.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a superstar spotlight share, right? And I love that it really takes courage to be fearless and to lean into the failures. It takes courage, right? Because society teaches us that failure is a bad thing. It's not a good
Right.
thing, right? And so it really is also a matter of us relearning
Yes,
things, right?
absolutely.
And that's what failure teaches you, is actually how to relearn, how to step into your truth, and how to step into your true purpose. That's what
Yeah,
I feel about failure.
100%.
I want to share your tip here, your influencer share. I consider coaching a calling, not my idea, but the universe's. So in order to answer that call, I knew I had to be done. I started by getting coaching, right? I believe all great coaches have coaches. Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did that what getting coached? What did that help? How did that help solidify that?
Well, I still have a coach. I probably will always have a coach.
Sure.
And I think first of all, it allowed me to see coaching in action,
Yeah.
how it's done and how how an experienced coach coaches. Um, but also I needed coaching in specific areas. And so I would go and, get a coach for something specific. Like I would get a coach that helped me with my tech, or I get a coach that would help me with my visibility marketing or whatever. So I think it's so great that there's so many coaches in the world and they all have these really cool specialties. And again, I think every great coach ought to have a coach.
I do too. I agree. That's such a roll out the red carpet moment there. That share, right? I mean, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
And when I was younger, particularly working in the Hollywood entertainment business, I was surrounded by very high level mentors. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was given the gift of mentorship very, very young. And I didn't realize until I popped out of Hollywood how important it is to surround yourself with other mentors. It was just organic there, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
so
not in the world.
always looking for that, for it to be mentored or to hear that aha or see speakers or learn from other people's trainings. And read, constantly read.
Yes, all the time. I'm a voracious, I'm never not reading. Never not reading. And a lot of times I'm reading 3 or 4 books at a time. So
Yes, yes. I totally agree. I have my book, Being Your Superstar, How to Expand Your Love Capacity. You guys can grab it on Amazon. I actually share in here the real reason I was in Hollywood. And it
mhm.
doubles as a guide, and it has an inner game component to it, which I do every day that's changed my personal and professional life. But if you want to get more of what you want to have a really strong inner guide, inner
Absolutely.
really strong inner game. I want to share your tip here is that staying aligned with your vision of what you want and expect it, and your soul makes decisions. So basically what you're doing is you're following your soul's guidance system.
Yes. So I find that because I coach women entrepreneurs, and I find that there's a very logical side to a female entrepreneur, and a lot of them don't connect with or don't want to hear too much about the woo. And so I try to like get the woo in there without it sounding woo. And so, but to me, yes, like that's exactly where it comes from. Sometimes I use the word intuition or even imagination because sometimes those are words that they connect a little bit better with than like your soul necessarily. But yeah, I think that that's exactly where your soul knows who you're meant to be
Yeah.
and what you want. Even when I teach visioning, sometimes things will come up in visions, and they have for me, where you didn't even know you wanted something. And
Right?
then your vision will show you that you want something you had no idea you wanted. And it's the
Oh yeah,
coolest thing.
that's me.
And yeah, it always knows the way. It never steers you wrong.
But that's the magic, isn't it? That's the magic of like just knowing, knowing to follow your inner guidance, because it will show you beyond things that you can dream for yourself,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I followed my inner guidance, and that's what took me to Hollywood. I never dreamed in a million years that that was going to be a part of my fabric of my life, but my inner guidance said yes. So I went, and that has been a tipping point in my life, right? And actually, every time I get a
Absolutely.
tipping point is because I've said yes. My inner
Yes,
guidance said yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
Here we are with you at the event, right? So
Yeah.
it's Exercise and Influence for Business Success for Women.
Mhm.
That was so great, and
It was great.
you getting your certificate. It was so much fun. I loved it. We
Yes,
had
it
so
was.
much fun. I want to share a quick tip here, share about, and again, it's going to be about the inner game. Your inner game is the most important game in town. Make sure to start every day with your daily habits and set your day up for success. What's a daily habit that you practice daily, sister? What's something you practice?
So I am a meditator.
Oh,
I have been meditating for many years in different ways and for different amounts of time. And at this point, I usually meditate about 40 minutes a day in the morning. Usually in I call it my sweat sack. I have a heated, whatever you call these things, like a sauna sack. And I'll get in there and I will usually I use guided meditations because that just tends to work the best for me. And so I usually will meditate for like 40 minutes a day. And for me, it just sets the tone for everything. And I can get myself now, because of my practice for many, many years, can get myself into such a fast state of just, calm, zen, whatever you want to call it. In fact, I was at the dentist not very long ago, and they were doing a procedure that was supposed to be about an hour and 15 minutes long, and it ended up taking about 3 hours.
Oh,
And afterwards, I showed the dentist that my Fitbit had said that I was asleep
oh,
during the procedure, because I was wide awake, obviously, but I was in a meditative state. And
yeah.
he was like, teach me your ways. So it's just, honestly, it's about practice. So I think that's one of the great things about habit, is that the more you practice, the better you get, and the more they just become like automatic.
I meditate every day too, and I've been meditating for years. And meditation again changed my life,
Yes.
right? To just quiet the mind, but be very intentional,
Yes.
focused, right? And
Focus.
focus on what you want and get clear. As a matter of fact, when I met my second meditation teacher, I was kind of I had gotten out of it for a minute, and she's like, "Listen, you'll get more of what you want." I'm like, then I'll do it, right? Like,
Yes.
human beings need a reason, right? And it's
Yes.
so true, it's so true. You so get more of
So
what you want,
cool.
right?
Hmm.
So get more of what you want. What's something like for me, I had been meditating on, going to, Egypt. That's what I've been
Oh,
meditating. I was meditating
yeah.
on it every day, right? Right after I graduated from college.
Oh,
And
okay.
so fast forward when I got the calling from an influencer to help me, to set me up in Hollywood, the first movie I ever worked on was Stargate
Oh my gosh.
in Egypt, yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I mocked that up, sister. I mocked that
Just
up.
manifested that one, didn't you? Yes. That's
There's no
awesome.
doubt. What about
Yeah.
you? What's something that surprised you along your journey?
Well, which journey? My meditation journey?
Well, no, just your
All
business
the journeys?
journey down here, yeah.
Oh gosh, something that surprised me. Well, honestly, this calling came as like a major surprise to me. This is not what I was doing. This wasn't even the direction that I was ever going, had never gone in this direction. I had never had a coach even. And so to feel like that's what the universe was calling me to do was like, it was honestly a little bit shocking. And also I had this kind of fear at the time of being visible. I didn't want So I used to be a photographer. That means you get to stand behind the camera.
Yeah.
I've done many things, but I've never had to be the face of my business. And that was really intimidating for me. And so at first I didn't even want to accept the calling.
Yeah.
But I'm always one to just do what I'm afraid of, kind of. And so obviously here I am. But yeah, it was super surprising. I would never have picked this for myself.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, I never imagined I'd be an author of 2 books ever. No,
Oh,
there wasn't one day in my life that I ever even thought about becoming an author,
isn't that crazy?
right? And yet this is what the divine had in store for me, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And the Red Carpet Guide to Visibility Influence, that's the journey of how I got back on my purpose, but it also doubles as a guide and has a social media marketing campaign that you can follow. But this inner guide one, being your own superstar, no, sister, no. That was never in my plan of being an inner game girl. Like
Yeah.
I like marketing. I like that's all very buzzy, very sexy for me, right? And so when I got the calling at my friend's life celebration, they're like, "You're going to do this book. This is the real reason why you were there in Hollywood for 20 plus years."
Oh my
And
God.
it's all downloaded to me. I was so reluctant. So I was like, "Yeah, no,
Yeah. Same. I was
no,
like, thank you,
I'm
but no.
not doing this." Right? And then
Yes.
I had a dream, and then they yelled at me,
Yes.
and I was
You
like,
don't get to say no. Yeah.
"Doing this." I want to
Isn't
share
that amazing?
it's like that creative things I get to do daily list, not that I have to do, right?
Right. Right.
And then get really clear on that list. Get really
Yes. I love that. I love that reframe, the get to do as opposed to you have to do.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
do really love that reframe. I think it does make a big difference.
well, there was years where I thought I had to do things, right? And so it
Yep.
became just a drudge. Everything was just
Exactly.
a drudge, right? But then with the meditation and the inner game work and really flowing into my purpose, I've lightened up, right? And
Yeah.
so that means my life is lightened up, right?
Yes.
And it's so much more fun. I'm having so much more fun.
Exactly. And you get to pick. And it's so easy, honestly. It's so easy to choose because your brain is so malleable, it's so programmable.
Yes.
And so
It's
you get to pick if you want this
true.
hard or this hard. You know what I mean? Like,
So
and you can have way more fun with life if you just change what's going on up there. It's really
well,
all about that.
well, I so appreciate you, April, and thank you for saying
Yeah.
yes to coming on the show. I'm going to drop you down in the green room. Go grab yourself a mocktail, right?
Okay.
And thank
Thank,
you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I
thank you, Joey.
appreciate you. Isn't she great? Yeah, I love that she meditates, and I love that she said yes to her callings. Join me for another episode of SWE Spotlight with Joey. You can catch me across my social media channels, and you can reach out, and also at joeyg113.com. And until next time, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I appreciate you. Bye, you all. You can learn more about me, my services, and products at joeyg113.com. Make sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.